guys, so welcome back to Shenanigans with Mr. Jones. I am Mr. Jones, and in this one, we're taking a look at this wall mount. So, as you guys can kind of see behind this here package, TV. Not just any TV. It's a brand new, obviously, it's a brand new 4K high definition, ultra high definition 4K smart TV by Disney. 1 plus 1 equals 2. We got a wall mount, we got a TV. Obviously, we're gonna put these two together some way, somehow, somewhere. And that's what we're doing in this one. So what I wanted to do real quick, because I just kind of took a little bit of an interim break for that review or overview or video, to do this one. And so what we're doing in this one is we're gonna unbox this guy and try to get it mounted to the wall. Now, just for like notes, so you guys understand my thinking. I'm really excited to get this on the wall. And I'm very excited to get this on TV on. I'm a little bit nervous about this whole process. Not because I'm not confident in my skills to get this attached to the wall. Not in my confidence in my skills to get the TV attached to this, which is going to be attached to the wall. What makes me nervous about anything like this is the fact, as you guys can clearly hear, I have a child running right here. We have a child, I should say. We have a child running right here. He's a 1-year-old. And granted, I'm much more excited that this TV will be off of the TV stand, off of the ground, where he can easily reach it once he gets a little bit bigger. I fear that one day this thing will fall off the wall. Now, I haven't heard of anyone that I know, or at least on YouTube, or anyone doing reviews, or even on reviews on Amazon about product that I've looked at. Because I looked at least 20 different mounts. And I haven't heard about anyone saying, yeah, this TV freaking fell off the wall because of this mount, or anything like that. So, I mean, that does kind of ease my nerves a little bit, but hey, you gotta think safe, especially when you have a kid running around here. You're gonna put something up that can fall. You wanna make sure you do it right, and you wanna make sure that you didn't just go out and get some cheapy TV mount. It's cheap. So we're going to try to mount this on the wall and do it the right way, do it safely. But hey, here we go. Inside the box, you guys get this. Of course, you gotta have a manual. You get a manual, and you get your pieces inside the box. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to probably pause the video and run through this manual and read it first before I start taking everything out, looking at it. I'm going to read it first so I have an idea of what to do when I'm go ahead and read through the manual. And what I've learned is that in order to get my TV on this mount, we have to do the option 2. Now, as you see, there's 2 options in order to do this. You have option 1 for smaller TVs and option 2 for larger TVs. Obviously, like I said, I have a 65-inch TV. You obviously can't do option 1 because it wouldn't work right. So we're going to do option 2, of course. So now what we're going to do is pull everything out of here and take a look at it, make sure everything is here, and then go from there. Now, as you guys saw, when I opened up this box, that whole compartment was empty. I did read a review or 2 on Amazon that said that people were missing parts. So we're gonna hope and pray that we got everything so we can get this TV mounted, because I really want to see my 4K TV. Wouldn't you? Here we go. All right, guys. So as you see, this mount is fully out of the packing now. To kind of clarify any of the videos or the reviews that guys have said on Amazon or anywhere where they purchased this, that said that this wasn't heavy duty. This thing is heavy, and it's got some solid metal on it. I don't know the exact gauge, but I mean, this is all. It's all metal. And yeah, it doesn't swivel as easy, but I don't think you want something that just is flimsy and it just moves around like, you know, like that's so liquidy smooth. I don't think you'd want that. At least I don't. So That's my opinion on that. Obviously, I'm just testing it out, making sure that it's all moving, it's all working right before we get it all installed and find out there's something wrong. But yeah, you know, that comes out pretty far. If you want your TV to come out that far, that's pretty freaking far off your wall if you want that. But we're gonna go ahead and try to get this thing on the wall now, or at least get this part of it on the wall, and we'll go from there. So you guys stick around for me. So what we're going to do now is, at first I was going to try to leave this in the box that it came in with the sleeve that it came on, screen protector, in order to try to leave this, but obviously I can't. Some things I want to point out real quick is that this TV, the way that it mounts is very, to me it feels very sketchy. And this is why. The holes to mount this TV are right here, okay? And there are no holes anywhere actually in the center of this TV. And so everywhere it's going to be mounted, it's just going to be these 4 screws right here. And although that might be okay, it just doesn't feel, it didn't make me feel confident. Getting back to the mount for itself, as you guys saw, it's on the wall now. And we'll talk about my complications towards the end of the video. But one thing that I did notice was that as you progress past the wall mounting portion of it, the next step is to then take this piece and attach the D-bars, the crossbars for it. One thing it doesn't tell you to do is take it off, and how to take it off. The way to take it off is these 2 screws on the bottom of it. It's hanging like this, so you can't see it until you look behind it and you find these screws, and they're always screwed up to keep it from coming off of the mount. You have to unthread them a little bit so that you can then lift it off because of these little lips. Tighten these guys in. And so next step is to get these C pieces onto here. And the way that you do that is you take those same screws that you use to fasten these guys together, as the screws in G. Take those same G screws and slide them, take these and slide them over the edges. Like so. And that's the only these guys can fit on. They can't fit on like that, obviously, because of that. So it has to go on facing you. Okay. In addition, as you're getting these guys on, don't screw them on yet. Reason being is because the position in which these will be in is dependent on your TV. So I can't say they need to be like that, because your TV may not be that small. I can't say they need to be like that because that may be for an 80-inch TV or a 75-inch TV. You have to go based off of yours. And I believe this TV is a 400 by 600. And I'll get the exact one screw here in a sec, but I'm kind of guessing right now. But essentially, you're gonna line it up. Once it's lined up, then you can fasten it down. So you guys watch that. So guys, before we get this thing screwed all the way onto the TV so we can get it mounted on the wall, I just wanted to show you guys something. Most TVs
I can't even say most, at least for the TVs that I have that aren't even mounted. I've looked at them. All of the holes, the mounting arrangement for where the screws would go are pretty much centered directly in the middle of the TV. This TV, for some reason, is the hole mounts order down here. And just so you guys can see that I'm not doing this incorrectly, I pulled up the manual for this item. You guys can see this is the hole arrangement for this TV. 4 little 10mm holes that go right in that area. So as you look at the TV, that's the same spot as it is here. And my model, just so you guys can see it, that's the screw size, the hole depth, the hole pattern, and the weight without the stand. So this is only a 40-pound TV. This is my model. It's a 40-pound TV. That's the arrangement, and that's the screw depth. So as sketchy as it seems, we're going right with the manual on its directions on what to do. So without further ado, here we go. Another thing is that although that said M6, here the only M on this parts. Very clearly that's not going to fit in my TV. Nor will these, and nor will those. So what the instruction that she said is select the correct mounting hardware according to the hole size on your TV, discard the remaining screws. So it doesn't necessarily, unless your manufacturer knows the size screws that are needed in the exact manufacturer and how they're lettered and all that, I don't think they're gonna know. So you have to really just go by feel. And since my TV requires a 10mm screw, maybe a 12mm screw, we're going to be looking for something, maybe something like this letter J here, or any of these 12mm screws, because matter of fact, that's probably it right there. M6, so not that M840, right? It's probably this M6x12. Because it did say M6 and for the manual for my TV. It said M6, not M8, not M5. So we're going to try out this letter J and see if they work. So here we go. Got the TV mounted up behind me. Now, before we get to talking about anything else, let's talk about exactly what happened with this wall mount. Okay, so obviously went out, did a bunch of research, okay, on wall mounts, and then we went on and bought one. Okay, after we bought it, we then unboxed it, laid everything out so that we saw exactly what we had inside the box, make sure we had all our pieces, and then from there we went on and pre-read the manual just to make sure that before we got into it, we kind of had a general idea of what everything's supposed to look like and where everything's supposed to go before we started doing it, okay? Next, we then started to mount it on the wall, okay? Got our stud finder out, found some studs, got dead center on those studs, pre-drilled some holes using the, whatever the size said in the manual for the pre-drill size. Took a drill bit, drilled the hole, shebang, okay? We then put the mount up. Next step, put the mount up and tried to get those screws through the mount and into the wall. Now, this is where we kind of had a problem, at least for me I did, okay? Now, from what it seems like in this house, when they built this house, they actually used wood studs that were, of course, 16 inches apart, but the stud is about an inch or two thick, or wide, I should say, about an inch or two wide. So it gives you a good chance of finding the dead center of that stud and not going through the sides of it, of course. But what happens when you have such a wide stud, it makes the center of that wood, or when you're trying to drill into it, a lot tougher, which is obviously a good thing. So what happened for me is, of course, I used my power drill to pre-drill the holes and to try to drill these screws into the wall. But the drill bits that I was using to the Phillips size, the Phillips head screw drill bits I was using, they kept slipping. I mean, constantly. I used a drill bit that was smaller than the exact size of the screw on the Phillips screw head. I used one that was the exact same size as that screw head, and I used one that was even a little bit larger than the size on the screw head. And every single time, they just kept slipping. So I ended up having to go out to Home Depot and get a socket set. And when I bought the socket set, I also got an attachment for the drill to connect to a socket piece, so I could then drill pieces into the wall. And of course, once I got it there, then I then took the socket wrench itself and then tightened them in to the wall just to get a nice, tight, secure fit of the mount to the wall. Now, is that on the fault of the manufacturer? Not really. Drill bits don't always mate or marry or mesh nicely with one another. So that happens. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, because when stuff like this comes up, it tends to get lost. People don't talk about it. So you may have to get a socket set and either just tighten it in with the wrench the whole way, or get attachment with the drill bit and then drill it into the wall. Either way, your TV is going to be able to be mounted. As you guys see, my TV is mounted, it's hanging well. It's been a couple days now, and as you still see, I haven't done anything else to this TV. It's hanging perfectly fine on the wall. You may or may not be able to see, but it is tilted a little bit, because if I had it flat or vertically, 100% vertical, there'd be a very massive glare coming from the window that's right in front of me, which is behind you. So the TV is tilted about, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 degrees. It goes all the way up to 15 degrees tilted if you want that. I don't necessarily need that, so we're gonna leave it as is. But yeah, as you guys can see, this TV is hanging perfectly fine. As you guys see, these two bars hanging out from the bottom. That's not necessarily the manufacturer's fault. That's Vizio's fault. We talked about that in the video for this TV. But these bars can't do anything about it. But like I want to show you, this thing does swivel out and it does tilt. We're going to show you that real quick. As you guys see, TV does come out a little bit. It does swivel left and right. I have to be kind of careful because the cords behind the TV are all connected, of course, and it gets. I feel it tightening as I turn it certain ways. But this TV does turn all the way around. It does come out as you saw, and it comes further out this way the further you bring it out, because that's just the way the mount is set up. But for me and for what we need, with it resting right here, it's perfect for us. So, like I said, I just wanted to show you guys this video, put this out there so there's some content on wall mounts and maybe some problems that could come about with a wall mount. And so just, you know, just kind of help educate everyone on TV wall mounts. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I am Mr. Jones. If you have any ideas, comments, or suggestions, go ahead and drop them down below. Yes, we did take a little bit of a break from our normal scheduled programming, but hey, aside from this video, I got a Boston butt out there on the smoker, so nothing better than a nice big flat screen TV, some sports getting ready to come on later on this evening, and some pulled pork sandwiches. I mean, what else? I mean, there's not much to complain about there. So, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, drop everything down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be safe.